One of the assessment tools that I use to help me with my tests and my assessments in my classroom is Wayground. Wayground is very easy and simple to use. As far as grading, it's very instant, it's automatic. Whatever that student gets, you see it, and it's easy just to plug it in the system. So, say if a student got an 87, you put that 87 in if you want to. If not, you can look at the real time of what that student did, and you can decide for yourself, okay, what questions am I going to count? What questions am I not going to count? And it's easy to grade, takes about 5 to 10 minutes. As far as what I can use it for, I can use it for exit tickets. I can use it for actual assessments. You can add like, accommodations to these assessments. They do follow the taxonomy, so you can change it from level one to two or three, depending on wherever you want for your students. So if you're looking to challenge them, you can change it to the harder questions. If you just needed something very simple for of a exit ticket, you can change it to the easier questions. They do have it to where you can tailor it to your standards that you're teaching for that day. These standards here that you see are for Tennessee standards of 8.8 and 8.9. Here we have something simple, something easy to do, something that's not too hard. They are familiar with this. Wayground being what used to be called Quiz. They've changed the name, but the system is still the same. And they have it to where you plug in your standards or whatever you're teaching that day, and it will create these questions for you. And I go into edit. If I'm looking for a simple 5 to 10 questions exit ticket, I will type in whatever standards and things that we're working on, whatever I've just taught, or I'm planning on teaching for that day, and then I just go through the questions. If I feel those questions are what exactly I need, then I keep it. But say it's a question that we normally wouldn't see, or I know it's not going to be on state testing. And for example, I'm just going to say question eight. If I know question eight is not going to be a state tested question, you can simply just take it out and it wouldn't be any problems. You don't have to have 10. If you just need five, do five. Uh, but it does allow me to see what the kids know without having to go through paper and pencil and all that because it's instant. Once they take this test, I get the information and then we can go over it. One thing that I do like to use or like to provide for students is like little data sheets. This is something that you can use for a data sheet. Okay, here's what you did for this to the Monday's exit ticket or Wednesday's exit ticket. Those students will be able to see it in real time. If you're needing a assessment, where there's more questions, maybe 20 or 15, how many ever questions you want. The same thing applies. If you want to add accommodations to certain things, you can do it. If you need to add translations, you can do it. Whatever it is that you need to make sure that your students are able to master what you're wanting them to know, Wayground will create it for you. And it's the same process. Whatever standards that you're teaching that week, you can plug those questions in. You can change it from hard to easy. However you need to do it, that is what I use. And what I would use for my instruction. Once they're done taking this test, I can look at, okay, what questions are they messing up on? That can be our whole group. And it can be similar to what you would see on Master Connect, where they're showing you whether they mastered it or whether they exceeded, whether they're below. You can do those same things, looking at see, okay, what did each kid do? Okay, my third period struggling with question 17. Okay, let's look at question 17 as a class. Let's break this down. But if you want to do an individualized student to student, you do one-on-one conferences or you have that student come to your desk, y'all go over it on the computer, you show them, and then you give them that feedback as a whole group of what questions they messed up and as individualized students. Okay, you got 17 right, but you struggled with 12. So let's look at 12. Let's take a look and see what you may have messed up. what misconceptions you may have. Those things are something that you can do as an individualized student, and they can see, okay, here's 3 questions I need to work on, 12, 6, 1. Where as a whole group, 17 was a struggle, but not for me. But 12, where most people got 12 right, where did you get 12 wrong? Those are the type of things that Wayground offers you. It allows you to compare what you do for one program like Master Connect and see, okay, here's where the students are struggling with. But if you had those individuals who are just struggling with certain questions, but you don't need to talk about it as a whole group, you can come to that student or have that one-on-one with that student and say, okay, let's go over your data from this particular test. Let's take a look and see where you went wrong so that we can move you forward. Because when state testing comes, we want our students to be mastering all the standards that we have. And so those are the things that I work on as far as teaching and instruction. If it's something that we have to go back over as a whole group, that's what we do. If not, I do it as individual students. I would have them have data sheets where they will look at every single time of all the assessments that we do. And that is one way that keep them on track of them taking their assessments and being able to master their content. But that is what I do for instruction. That's what I would do for feedback. And that is what I would do to help my students grow and develop as they continue in my class.